There's this one person that commented that, it can be very dangerous, quote unquote, dangerous to talk about the end times and the signs. And I would say that in most part, I agree. In most part, I do agree. It can be dangerous because it can make people like freak out and they're going to be like, oh no, the Lord is coming. Let me sell all the things that I have. Or people can react in a very like panicky or chaotic way. And I understand this too, that yeah, it can be dangerous. I do agree with this. And, and I think this person also brought up a great point. And the great point that this person brought up was, this person said that, we should always be ready. And I actually agree even more with that. I do think that, as people of faith, waiting for the Lord's second coming, if anything, we have to be the ones that are always ready all the time. So I completely agree with all these things. Now, one of the verses that this person brought up was Matthew chapter 24, verse 36. Okay? Very famous verse. It says, no one knows the day or the hour, not even the Son, not the angels or the Son, only the Father knows, right? And I think this is very, very clear that everyone should be, one of the most dangerous things you can do is say, guess what? January 15th, 2025, the Lord's second coming. Oh, March 28th, right? Or, September 17th. Like, that is something I think is very dangerous because no one knows the day or the hour, right? So that's one thing that I'll say 100% is that is very, very dangerous. It does tell us that, guess what? No one knows the day or the hour. And of course, the Bible says in many other instances that the Lord comes like a thief in the night. No one's going to know. It's going to come at an hour you do not expect, okay? So I agree. No one will know the exact time of the Lord's second coming. Now, the only caveat I have, and the one thing that I would somewhat disagree with, is even though you don't know the day or the hour, you can know when the time is near. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, or why do I believe this is because this is kind of what the Bible is telling us. The Bible tells us in a very vague and general way, but also points to signs saying that when you start to see these things, you will know that the time is near, right? So when you look at Matthew chapter 24, verse 33, what does it say here? It says that even so, when you see all these things, you know it is near, right at the door, right? Matthew 24, we know that this is the chapter for the Lord's second coming, and Jesus himself tells us all the signs that show that the time of the Lord's second coming is near, right? Jesus says near, right at the door. So this is not just a regular person speaking. This is Jesus speaking about the different signs that are out there telling us that the time is near. Now, even 2,000 years ago when Jesus came, it wasn't uncommon to have certain signs. Right? So even 2,000 years ago, there were many signs that were seen by many different people. For instance, when Jesus was born, many things happened. For instance, look at the three magi that came from the east. What did they see? They saw the star in the sky, and it was over Bethlehem, and there was the king, the waited for king, the king of Israel. Right? There's one sign. Another sign. If you look at Luke chapter 2, I'm not going to even go into this entire verse, the entire chapter, but there's two significant people that were there when Jesus was born. The first was someone named Simeon. And when you look at Simeon, what was the one thing God told him? God told him that he would not die before seeing the Messiah. So if that's a sign of the time coming near, he's the one that actually saw the Messiah, and he was told by God he wouldn't die before he saw the Messiah. Right after him, there's someone who was a prophetess. It was Anna. And what did Anna? Anna blessed Jesus and told the parents, this is what is talked about when it comes to the redemption of Israel. So there were major signs even at the time when Jesus was born, right? And think about this. Yes, Jesus was born, but it took another 30 years before Jesus even began his ministry. So these were signs of what was coming in the future, that the time has come, that the Messiah was there. So yes, I do agree it is somewhat dangerous. I agree with that. But I also agree that if anything, people should always be ready, not just when the time comes. Because technically speaking, guys, If you're getting ready, when the time comes, it means you're not ready, right? So I get the point and I understand this, but I also, biblically speaking, through the text, Jesus gives us the signs to say, be careful, like the time is coming. It's right at your door. So I don't think we can know the exact day or time, but because of what Jesus says to us, we can know when the time is near or when we're right at the door.